State of Decay 2 is a title that is all about you. It is not about a story, it is not about a particular character, it is all about you and your decisions out there in the zombie infested world. If you are jumping into this title expecting a story or a character driven narrative, then you are gonna be disappointed, as it is all about you and your own story that you experience as you play this game. And your story is gonna differ from mine, as our experiences are always gonna be different, and yeah, that is the beauty of this title. This game is all about your experiences and your decisions, which is amazing. This is a really high value for money title, and unfortunately, it's really underrated. The sheer amount of content present in this title is just mind blowing. Even after playing this title for like 100 hours, you are still gonna find new weapons, which is just insane. And more than 4 years after its original release, this title is still getting updates, which is crazy. A game that quite literally lets you live the Walking Dead life, that lets you experience the hassles of life in a Walking Dead like universe. You get to manage an entire community and you can take control of any of the community members. And they level up based upon your activities and turn into total badass survivors with really cool abilities. But don't get too attached to any of these survivor characters, as death is permanent, and on higher difficulties like the lethal, it's really easy to lose a survivor, and yeah, it does hit pretty hard. After maxing out a survivor character, you can send them to the legacy pool, and then you can choose to use them when you start a new community, especially on a higher difficulty where you need those stats to combat the higher level of difficulty. So you can basically build an arsenal of survivors with really crazy abilities, and yeah, the possibilities are basically endless. You can use the lower difficulties to strengthen and level up your survivor characters. And once they've graduated from the lower difficulties, you can then send them to the higher ones through the legacy pool for higher studies. The difference between the standard difficulty and the highest difficulty level, which is lethal, is like massive, and I committed the mistake of skipping every single difficulty in the middle, and straight away from standard I jumped to lethal and got wiped out in the process. I did manage to succeed with the lethal difficulty later on, but it was only after I had learned some really harsh lessons on my first attempt. And personally, after getting through my first lethal difficulty playthrough, I treat the standard difficulty and lethal difficulty as two completely different games. So, what I'm trying to say is that this title will give you two completely different types of experiences based upon the difficulty that you've selected. And yeah, I was like really stressed on the lethal difficulty, while on standard, I feel like I'm on a vacation in a zombie infested world. And I'm yet to check out two other difficulties in the middle, Dread and Nightmares. So yeah, there is a ton of content and so many different ways to experience it. And then this game has 5 different maps, 5 different regions, very different and distinct from each other. And if you end up buying this title, which I'd say will be totally worth it, you're gonna want to experience every single map at least once, and that will give you amazing value for money. It is basically an endless title. After completing the campaign on a particular map, you can choose to start a new campaign on a new map with the same community, or you can choose to send those community members to the legacy pool. And then you can start a new community with an entirely new set of survivors, or you can choose to use a combination of old and new survivors using the legacy pool. Then, apart from the campaign, you've also got two other modes called Heartland and Daybreak. I've got like more than 100 hours into this title, but I haven't checked out Heartland yet, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's like some sort of story continuation from the first State of Decay game. Then the Daybreak mode is a wave based survival mode actually. It is really challenging and I haven't gone beyond wave 5. And in here there are like walls, and behind them there is an engineer who's like repairing some stuff, and you have to defend him from waves upon waves of zombies. And yeah, you can unlock some really cool stuff through this game mode. You earn a separate currency called prestige by playing the Daybreak mode, and then in the campaign mode you can call in a prestige trader and spend this currency to get your hands on the stuff that you've unlocked through Daybreak, which is like really cool as it ties into the campaign. Daybreak is a really cool bonus to have, but the heart and soul of this title lies in the campaign. And yeah, the Heartland mode is something that I haven't checked out yet, and I'm definitely gonna follow up with a video once I have done that. This is a really cool, super immersive zombie survival simulator where you have to build a base, you have to manage a community, you have to basically do anything and everything that you would in a real world zombie apocalypse scenario. As a kid, while playing Left 4 Dead back in the day, I used to make these stories within my head about these four survivors and why they are going back again and again in the zombie infested areas. And I used to make these stories that, yeah, they are going there for supplies and stuff, as they are immune and they are the only ones who could do that. And State of Decay 2 basically allowed me to experience all that, and it basically took me back in time. And yeah, all those stories came back, and I lived them through this title, which was like super cool. And I'm really enjoying it right now. And I'm definitely gonna be playing this for a long time. This title is not groundbreaking in terms of graphics and still has some minor bugs and glitches, but overall, it is really enjoyable. It is like really immersive, and in terms of immersion, it is like the RDR2 of the zombie genre. It is definitely not the most polished title out there, but it comes really close to being perfect. It strikes a really cool balance between arcade and simulation, as the gunplay is really arcadey, but everything else, including the guns, are bound in realism. I made this video out of love for this title, and I'm pretty much sure that you can't go wrong with it, as it is a really enjoyable, really fun, super immersive title, and it is not perfect, but it comes really close to being one. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and do let me know what you like or dislike about this title down in the comment section. And if you absolutely love State of Decay 2, definitely check out the video I made on 5 things that make State of Decay 2 special. And thank you very much for watching. Peace out.